name's Elena. I was the job coach at Barcade.
Thank you, Elena. Can you describe the difference that you saw in your workers from the first day until the last week?
Absolutely. So when we started, most of my kids didn't talk a lot. I mean, I obviously had one who was very outgoing and they were initiating everything. But my others weren't always, social butterflies. And then over the last couple weeks, they have bonded together and they're joking constantly to the point where I have to pull them away from joking so they can actually get work done. And they're making jokes, they're playing games together, and they're talking to people like customers, and they're in a conversation, and it's nice to see them grow into themselves and become more confident in their own communication abilities.
That's great. I heard that you did have there is the competition for dog poo, but I've also heard that you had a competition to get to know the customers. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, so when we started doing our competitions, I mean, dog poop was the easiest one because it was pretty quantifiable, but one of their first 2 days of it was go meet a dog, and you have to be able to tell me the name, extra point if you meet the customer, and then you get a point to just pet the dog, know the name, and if they come back, then kids already have a name to a face, and they already have that relationship with the customer. They had another day where they had to introduce themselves to one of their coworkers. And so, I mean, I had one kid who stepped out from our morning meeting, immediately bolted to the nearest staff member and was like, "Hi, I'm blank. What's your name?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I don't remember his name." Immediate. I was like, "Give me the point." It's like, "Yes, you can have that point, absolutely."
Yes.
So just little things. And even without the point systems, they'll go up and they'll meet the dog and they'll have a little conversation and they'll come back and like, "Yes, you did."
That's great. So I have talked to some of the students, and a few of them said that they want to continue working. So what do you think about them looking for jobs in fast food or in hotels? Do you think that the skills they learn here will help them?
Absolutely. I think a lot of those communication skills that we went over, I mean, fast food restaurants aren't really going to have the go clean up dog poop element, except for Barcade. And I have had a student express that they'd like to stay on in the future. But I think that they've, especially the ones who are more in their shells and have come out a little bit, I think they have those skills to be able to initiate and answer questions. And if they don't, necessarily know the answer, they know who to go to for help on that. So I think absolutely in a new environment, they can quickly adapt to it. I think they can pick it up really easy. I think they'd enjoy it.
And if there are people out there thinking about being a job coach, what advice would you give to them?
Be adaptable, because we started the first week and it's clean the windows, sanitize everything, then we're gonna go out and do trash. It's not going to stay that way. You're not going to keep them all in one group. I'll admit I don't always know where they all are in a specific location all times, but I know that I can trust them to get done wherever they're doing, and they all know kind of the specific times to come in. So like, we'll always be up in the lounge at lunch at 12 o'clock, so I know they'll always be there. So just be flexible and be willing to recognize that they don't necessarily need you right by them all the time. Especially once they get comfortable, they are independent, they are fully capable of completing everything. And so just willing to know that you're not there necessarily as, I'm going to help you with everything right next to you, but you're more there as, a guide, not necessarily the whole way. But they can come to you for questions. You're supposed to be there kind of like a professional friend almost.
Yeah.
You get to know them and you'll miss them when they leave. So.
Yes, it is our last week.
Yes.
All right, that's the only questions I have.